You know, creators today are finding inspiration in some pretty wild places, but what happens when you mash up something ancient, like tarot, with something super futuristic, like AI? Well, you get this story that is so weird and so spot on, it could totally flip how we think about creativity. Let's dive in.
So that brings us to the big question, right? Can an AI actually predict a YouTube channel's destiny? I know, it sounds like something from a movie, but one creator actually tried it, and what happened? Whoa, it was startling. We're going to walk through the whole thing piece by piece.
All right, so let's set the scene. Our main character here is a guy named Lee. He's a YouTuber, and he's got this really interesting kind of niche channel. He's got this great community, but then one night, boom, an idea hits him. An idea that was about to send his channel into a totally new territory. So what makes his channel so unique? Well, Lee's not using a regular tarot deck. Nope, he does all of his readings with just a standard deck of playing cards. You know, the 52 cards you'd use for poker. It's a pretty cool twist, and it's earned him a really loyal following. Okay, so one night, Lee gets this light bulb moment. He thinks, what if I did a reading, not for one person, but for my entire audience at once? So he does this classic setup, you know, a 3-card spread, one for the past, one for the present, one for the future, and then he adds a 4th clarifier card just to get a little more detail.
But here's where it gets really interesting. This is the big twist. Lee focuses all his intention on his viewers. He draws the 4 cards, but then, instead of reading them himself, he just asks an AI to do it. He hands the whole interpretation over to an AI assistant. No human gut feeling, no intuition, just cold, hard machine learning. Wild, right?
Honestly, Lee had no clue what was going to happen. I mean, what does an AI know about playing cards or a YouTube channel's journey? But what he got back, it wasn't just some generic card meaning. It was this shockingly complete story. It was like a 4-act play that laid out the entire history and future of his channel. Okay, so let's get into the nitty-gritty of what this AI actually said. The first card it looked at was for the past, and that card was the 10 of clubs. And check this out. The AI didn't just spit out a textbook definition. It gave each card a title, kind of like a chapter name. For the past, for that 10 of clubs, it called it the breakthrough. Pretty cool. The details here are what really matter. The AI said this card was all about a moment when the channel just leveled up, you know? Like there was a specific video or maybe an event where suddenly the message started going way, way further. For any creator out there, you know that feeling. That's the moment you go, oh wow, this is actually working. Okay, so that was the past, a big breakthrough. What about right now, the present moment? The second card pulled was the 9 of clubs. And the AI's title for this one, just as powerful. It called it the goal in sight, or the hustle. Man, you can just feel the energy in that phrase, can't you? So what did that mean? According to the AI, it meant the channel is currently firing on all cylinders. All that hard work is paying off, keeping that momentum going from the breakthrough. And here's the crazy part. The AI specifically said the channel was probably really close to hitting some kind of major milestone, like a subscriber goal. The finish line was in sight.
All right, so we've got a breakthrough in the past, a hustle in the present. So what's next? What did the AI see for the future? The third card was the Jack of Hearts.
The title for this one is super interesting because it points in 2 directions, at the audience and at the creator. The AI called it the fan or the new creative spark. So right away, you get the feeling this next chapter is all about connection. The AI basically laid out 2 possibilities here. It said this could mean a whole new wave of super passionate fans are about to discover the channel. Or it could mean that Lee himself is about to create something new and really personal, something straight from the heart that's going to connect with his audience on a whole new level. But hang on, don't forget, there was that 4th card, the clarifier, the one that's supposed to add that extra layer of meaning to everything else. And that card was the 2 of hearts. And the AI's title for this card? This is where it all clicks into place. It called the 2 of hearts the perfect partnership. The AI's take on this was pretty profound. It said this represents a soulmate-level connection with the audience. It's not just a one-way street anymore. You know, Lee makes a video, people watch. It's becoming a real conversation, a real partnership. It even hinted that maybe a collab with another creator could be coming up, one that would just be a perfect fit. So let's step back for a second. You've got a breakthrough, A hustle, a new creative spark, and a perfect partnership. When you put all those pieces together, you realize the AI didn't just give 4 separate meanings. It told one single, coherent story about the channel's entire life cycle.
Just look at it laid out here. The story is so clear. It starts with this big public success. That's the breakthrough. That success then requires a ton of hard work to keep it going. That's the hustle. And the destination? Where's all this headed? It's moving towards something deeper, a real connection with the community. That's the new spark and the perfect partnership. And then, as if that wasn't enough, the AI dropped this final summary statement that just ties it all up with the bow. It told Lee, and I quote, "You are moving from big success to personal achievement into a deeply loyal connection. Your tribe is definitely finding you." I mean, chills, right?
So what did Lee think about getting this super specific, deeply personal reading from a machine? His reaction was pretty simple. He just said it was mind-boggling. He was just blown away by how it nailed the very essence, the soul, of what he was trying to build.
You know, an experiment like this just opens up so many crazy possibilities. We're not talking about AI as just a tool to, edit a video faster or crunch some numbers. This is AI as a creative partner, a collaborator, heck, a storyteller. It totally changes the game in terms of what we think these things can do.
So, at the end of it all, Lee was left with this huge question. It's a question he asked his viewers, and it's the one I want to leave with you. What do you do with something like this? Was it just a really, really lucky guess by a piece of software? Or are we seeing the beginning of a future where that line between our own human gut feelings and artificial intelligence starts to get really blurry? What happens next? Where could this possibly lead?